The space station floated in silence around a lonely red star. Inside its silver walls, many young cadets trained to become protectors of the galaxy. Among them was a human engineer named Ryan Carter. He was not a soldier like the others, but he had sharp hands and a curious mind. Ryan loved machines more than people, and most days he worked alone in the testing labs. On that day, the lab lights glowed soft blue. Ryan stood beside a new device, a strange machine made of glass tubes and energy coils. It was his latest invention, designed to gather free energy from starlight. If it worked, ships could travel farther without fuel. But the machine was unstable, and Ryan had been warned many times to test it slowly. Ryan wiped sweat from his forehead. He whispered to himself, "Just one more adjustment." The device hummed, brighter and louder. Suddenly, the door opened, and a voice spoke. "Ryan, what are you doing in here alone again?" It was Lyra, an alien girl cadet. Lyra was tall with silver hair that shined like liquid metal. Her skin had a soft glow and her eyes were deep purple. She came from the planet Oriel, known for warriors and strict discipline. But Lyra was different. She was shy, easily embarrassed. Still, she always checked on Ryan when others ignored him. Ryan smiled nervously. "I'm almost done, don't worry." Lyra crossed her arms. "You say that every time." She walked closer, curiosity pulling her near the strange machine. The coils pulsed with a warm golden light. Then the warning alarms flashed red. The energy inside the tubes began to spin too fast. Ryan shouted, "Get back." But before Lyra could move, a spark exploded. A beam of golden light shot out of the machine. It hit Lyra directly in the chest. The room shook, glass cracked, and the smell of burning wires filled the air. Lyra gasped, her body glowing bright. Her armor plates stretched strangely, and something impossible happened. Her coconuts, a unique part of her alien body, suddenly grew larger, glowing with energy. Her cheeks turned crimson as she stared at Ryan in shock. She tried to cover herself, her voice trembling. What did you do?" Ryan's mouth fell open. I didn't mean to." The machine sparked again and then went silent. Smoke drifted through the air. The lights flickered. Ryan rushed to Lyra's side. "Are you hurt?" She shook her head quickly, but her face stayed red. Her glowing chest gave off a strange hum as if energy now lived inside her. The door burst open and other cadets ran in. "What happened here?" shouted one officer. Ryan froze, unable to explain. Lyra clutched her chest, looking down in panic. Everyone stared at her glowing body, whispering in fear and wonder. The officer scanned the readings on the wall display. His eyes widened. "This is impossible." The machine had released not just energy, but something ancient, a hidden frequency, long forbidden in Oriel culture. The officer whispered, "The legend. The starfire has awakened." Lyra shook her head quickly. "No, that's just a story." But her body kept glowing, stronger and stronger. Ryan felt his stomach twist. His small mistake had unlocked something far bigger than he understood. The officer looked at Ryan with suspicion. "You, human, what have you done?" Ryan stepped back, his heart pounding. He wanted to explain, but even he had no answer. Lyra's hands trembled as she touched her glowing chest. Her voice was soft, almost a whisper. "Why me?" Ryan's mind raced with questions. Why did his machine react only to her? Why did it trigger something that should not even exist? The alarms finally silenced, leaving only the low hum of her power. Everyone stood frozen, staring at Lyra as if she had become something else, something dangerous, something legendary, and, deep inside Ryan's mind, one thought screamed louder than the alarms. This accident was no accident at all. It was the beginning of something that could change the galaxy forever. The lab still smelled of smoke and burning wires. Lyra's body glowed with a soft golden light, and every cadet in the room stared at her. Her hands tried to hide her chest, but the glowing coconuts kept pulsing with strange energy. Her face turned red, her silver hair sticking to her skin as she whispered, "Please don't look." Ryan stood frozen, guilt spreading across his face. He wanted to protect her, but he could not stop the eyes of the others. One cadet muttered, She's changed," another whispered. "This is dangerous." Lyra's heart raced faster, the glow spreading through her body. Suddenly, the officer shouted, "Everyone out now." The cadets hurried away, some looking back with fear, others with envy. Only Ryan and the officer stayed inside with Lyra. The officer studied the readings on the wall monitor. The numbers made no sense. Energy levels rising higher than any weapon they had ever recorded. Ryan took a step closer. "Lyra, can you breathe?" She nodded quickly. "Yes, but it feels heavy." Her voice shook, her cheeks redder than ever. The officer tapped his communicator. "Medical team now, and prepare containment." His words made Lyra's heart drop. Containment, like she was no longer a cadet, but a dangerous creature. Lyra shook her head. "No, please, I'm not a threat." But as she spoke, her coconuts glowed brighter. The golden light reflected on Ryan's eyes. The officer raised his hand as if ready to stop her. "Control yourself, cadet," he ordered. Ryan shouted, "Wait, it's not her fault, it's my machine." The officer glared. "Your machine did not make this energy, human. Her body is holding something ancient." Ryan swallowed hard, unable to argue. He looked at Lyra, trembling and embarrassed, and realized the officer was right. This was not just a lab accident. Something inside her had awakened, something older than their technology. The medical team arrived with scanners and glowing cuffs. They tried to step forward, but Lyra backed away quickly. "No," she whispered, her body shaking. "Don't touch me." Ryan stepped between them. "Wait, give her space." But the officer growled, "Stand aside, or you will be charged with obstruction." Lyra's breathing grew heavy, her glowing chest rising and falling. Every time she blushed harder, the light grew. The medical scanners beeped wildly, showing energy waves bending the air itself. One medic whispered, "This is the Starfire. It's real." The others stared in silence, afraid to move closer. Ryan's heart pounded. He remembered stories he once read in alien archives, legends of Oriel maidens chosen by the stars. But the stories always ended in tragedy, because the chosen one was never allowed to live freely. They were turned into weapons used until they burned out. Ryan looked at Lyra's terrified eyes and knew she feared the same fate. She whispered to him, her voice cracking, "Ryan, did you do this to me on purpose?" His chest tightened. "No, I swear it was an accident." But deep inside, Ryan also wondered if fate had played a role. The officer raised his hand again. "Take her." The medics moved carefully, holding out the glowing cuffs. Ryan clenched his fists, ready to resist, but then something shocking happened. The glowing coconuts pulsed like a heartbeat. The light exploded in a wave, knocking every medic to the ground. Machines sparked, screens cracked, and the officer fell back against the wall. Lyra gasped, her face red with fear. "I didn't mean to," she cried. "I can't stop it." Ryan rushed to her side, grabbing her hands. "Look at me, Lyra. Focus." Her purple eyes locked onto his, trembling. The glow softened for a moment, as if her body listened to his voice. The officer struggled to stand, his eyes wide with both fear and greed. He whispered, "She is not just a cadet anymore. She is a weapon." Ryan turned to him, anger in his voice. "She's not a weapon, she's a person." But the officer's cold smile said otherwise, and deep inside, Ryan knew the truth. The galaxy would never let her live in peace, not after this discovery. The academy halls buzzed with whispers. Everywhere Lyra walked, eyes followed her glowing chest. The accident in the lab had spread like wildfire. Cadets pointed, some in awe, some in fear. Her face stayed red, her silver hair hiding part of her burning cheeks. Ryan walked beside her, trying to shield her from the stares, but he could not block the rumors. "She is cursed," one cadet hissed. "No, she is chosen," another argued. Each word made Lyra's steps heavier. Her coconuts still pulsed faintly, glowing whenever her emotions rose. She gripped the strap of her training bag tightly. "I can't take this," she whispered to Ryan. They all look at me like I'm not a person anymore. Ryan kept his voice calm. Ignore them. They don't know you. But deep down, he knew ignoring was impossible. Her power was too visible, too dangerous. In the mess hall, things grew worse. As soon as Lyra entered, conversation stopped, trays clattered, heads turned, and every table seemed to fall silent. She sat in the corner, but even there she could feel the weight of stares. Ryan sat across from her, whispering, "Stay strong." But her blush betrayed her. The glow spread brighter, making the silence sharper. Then a new voice cut through the hall. "Well, well, the famous Starfire cadet." The rival commander stepped forward. Tall, armored, his golden eyes filled with arrogance. Commander Veyron, known for his cruelty and training. He smirked as he looked at Lyra. "So this is the power hidden inside you." Lyra's fork shook in her hand. I don't want trouble," she said softly. But Veyron laughed. "Trouble found you already." He circled the table like a predator. "You will not remain a cadet for long. The High Council will take you for testing." His words made the room colder. Other cadets whispered again, louder this time. Ryan stood quickly, his fists tight. "Leave her alone." Veyron tilted his head, amused. "And what will you do, human engineer? Fix her with your toys." Lyra's face burned redder, not only from fear but from shame. Her coconuts glowed so bright the hall filled with golden light. Gasps echoed. As cups and trays rattled, the power inside her responded to her emotions again. She covered her chest quickly. "Stop looking." But the glow refused to fade. Veyron's smirk widened. "Pathetic, you can't even control it." His voice was sharp, cutting into her pride. Tears gathered at the corner of her eyes. Ryan stepped forward, anger boiling. "You don't understand. It's not just power. It's dangerous for her." Veyron ignored him, turning back to the other cadets. "Look at her. She will destroy herself before she destroys the enemy." The room filled with cruel laughter. Lyra's heart twisted, her whole body trembling. Then the glow exploded again. A wave of golden energy shot across the hall. Windows cracked, lights flickered, trays flew into the air. Everyone screamed, ducking under tables. Ryan grabbed Lyra's hand, pulling her close. "Calm down, focus on me," he shouted. Her purple eyes locked on his, tears shining inside them. Slowly, the glow softened again. The hall lay in ruins, smoke rising from broken lamps, and silence fell heavier than before. The doors burst open, officers storming in. One looked at the chaos and shouted, "Enough, she is out of control." They pointed at Lyra. "She must be taken to the council immediately." Lyra shook her head, fear rushing through her. "No, please, I don't want to go." She gripped Ryan's hand tighter as if he was her only anchor. Veyron stepped forward, bowing slightly to the officers. "I will personally escort her to the council. She is a danger to us all." Ryan's jaw tightened, fury filling his chest. He knew Veyron wanted her power for himself. But how could a simple human stop the council, the soldiers, and a commander? Like Veyron, Lyra's blush deepened, not from embarrassment now, but from fear. The glow inside her grew restless again. Ryan felt it through her trembling hand, and in that moment he realized the truth. Her power was tied to her emotions. The more the galaxy pushed her, the brighter she would burn. And if no one helped her control it, she might destroy everything, even herself. The night cycle fell over, the academy. The stars outside the station burned bright, yet inside, Lyra felt trapped in shadows. After the chaos in the mess hall, the officers had ordered her to stay in isolation, but Ryan found a way into her room, slipping past the guards. With quiet steps, Lyra sat on the edge of her bed, silver hair covering her face. Her glowing coconuts pulsed faintly under her training suit. She hugged her knees, trying to hide her blush from him. Ryan whispered, "Are you okay?" Her voice cracked. "I don't know. Everyone looks at me like I'm cursed." Ryan sat down beside her, his hands shaking slightly. "It wasn't your fault. The machine reacted in a way I never expected." But Lyra shook her head. "No, Ryan, this is not about your machine. It's about me." Her purple eyes lifted to his, filled with fear and shame. There's something my people never speak about, something forbidden. Ryan leaned closer, his heart racing. What do you mean? Lyra took a deep breath, her voice barely a whisper. There is an old legend from Oriel, a story parents tell their children to scare them. She hesitated, her face red again, her glow stronger. They say when the coconuts glow, the Maiden of Starfire has awakened. Ryan blinked. Maiden of Starfire. Lyra nodded slowly. Yes, a chosen one. Cursed with power beyond control. She looked down at her trembling hands. The last maiden burned an entire fleet by accident. Her body was destroyed from the inside, so the council erased all records of her. Her voice cracked. They call it a myth, but myths always come from truth. Ryan felt his chest tighten. So you think you are this maiden? Lyra's blush deepened, her glow pulsing in rhythm with her racing heart. I don't want to be Ryan. I just wanted to be a cadet, a normal girl. Her voice shook. But now I'm the thing everyone fears. Silence filled the room, only the hum of her energy breaking it. Ryan finally whispered. Maybe it's not a curse. Maybe it's a gift. Lyra shook her head quickly, tears in her eyes. No gift destroys everything it touches. She pressed her hands against her chest as if trying to hold the glow inside. If the council learns the truth, they will lock me away, use me as a weapon, or worse. Ryan clenched his fists, anger burning in him. They can't control you like that. But Lyra gave a sad smile. Ryan, you don't understand. They control everything, even me. Suddenly the station lights flickered. A low rumble shook, the walls making Lyra jump. Ryan looked up sharply. What was that? The alarms blared, red lights flashing through the room. An officer's voice echoed over the speakers. Attention, enemy fleet detected, all cadets to battle stations. Lyra gasped, her glow flaring brighter. Ryan turned to her, his voice urgent. We have to move, they'll come for you first. Lyra shook her head, fear rising in her eyes. No, if they see me like this, they'll know, they'll take me. Ryan grabbed her hand firmly. Listen to me. If that legend is true, then maybe your power is the only thing that can save us. Her heart raced, her coconuts pulsing with golden light. She stared at him, blushing deeply. You really think I could save anyone? Ryan nodded, his eyes steady. I believe in you. The door suddenly hissed open and a squad of soldiers stormed in. Their leader barked. The council orders you to come with us, Cadet Lyra. Lyra froze, panic-making. Her glow erupted again. Ryan stepped in front of her, spreading his arms wide. She's not going anywhere with you. The soldiers raised their weapons, the glow from Lyra's chest reflecting off their armor. For a heartbeat, the whole room felt like it would explode. And deep inside, Ryan realized this was only the beginning. The Maiden of Starfire was no myth anymore. She was real, and she was sitting right beside him. The alarm screamed through every corridor. Red lights flashed like angry eyes warning of the danger outside. Through the wide glass of the station, cadets saw the dark shapes of enemy warships sliding into view. Their weapons glowed, charging. For battle. Panic spread across the academy halls. Ryan gripped Lyra's arm, pulling her away from the squad of soldiers. Come on, we have to move, he shouted. But the squad leader raised his blaster. Stop, the council ordered us to secure her. Lyra's glow brightened in panic, her chest pulsing wildly. The soldiers hesitated, fear mixing with duty. Before anyone could act, the first enemy blast struck the station. The walls shook, sparks rained from the ceiling. The floor tilted, sending everyone crashing against the walls. Ryan shielded Lyra with his body as metal panels tore free. Smoke filled the corridor, alarms howling louder. The squad scattered, shouting orders. Defensive lines, protect the reactor. Seal the docking bays. The leader pointed at Lyra. She is priority, grab her now. But Ryan pulled her into a side passage. Not a chance, we're getting out of here. Lyra's heart pounded, her glowing coconuts vibrating like drums. Ryan, I can't hide this anymore, she whispered. Her purple eyes were wide with fear and guilt. If I lose control, I'll hurt everyone again. Ryan grabbed her shoulders, looking straight into her eyes. Then learn to control it. Because right now the Academy needs you. Another blast shook the station. Metal groaned, lights flickered. The enemy warships fired again, tearing holes into the Academy walls. Cadets scrambled in the hangars, rushing into small fighters. The air was filled with the sound of engines roaring to life. The defense fleet launched, but they were outnumbered. Ryan and Lyra reached the observation deck. Through the giant window they saw the first clash of battle. Dozens of bright streaks crossed the dark sky, ships exploding into fireballs. The Academy shook with every hit. Lyra pressed her hands against the glass, whispering, "So many are dying." Suddenly, enemy boarding pods smashed into the station. Metal claws tore into the walls, doors burst open, and armored invaders poured inside. The cadets fought bravely, but the enemy was stronger. Ryan pulled Lyra back, his voice shaking. "We can't fight them, we need to run." But then a blast of plasma hit the deck near them. Lyra screamed, falling to her knees, her glow exploding outward. The golden light surged like a wave. Enemy soldiers staggered, shields cracking, weapons melting. In their hands, Ryan's eyes widened. "Lyra, you just—" But she cut him off, tears in her eyes. "I didn't mean to. It just happened." Her coconuts glowed so bright the whole deck shimmered with heat. The enemy soldiers turned pale, fear flashing in their eyes. One shouted, "The legend is true." Another dropped his weapon, backing away. But more came, determined to capture her. Ryan pulled her up, holding her hand tight. "Don't stop. Use it. You can save us." Lyra shook her head. "I can't control it." But her glow said otherwise. Power building like a rising storm. The deck doors blew open. Commander Veyron stormed in with soldiers at his back. He shouted, "Protect the maiden. Don't let them take her." For the first time, Ryan saw fear in Veyron's golden eyes. Not fear of the enemy, but fear of what Lyra might become. The enemy warships pressed harder, the station crumbling under fire. Ryan realized they could not stay. If Lyra stayed here, she would either be captured by enemies or locked by her own people. He leaned close, whispering, "We need to escape now." Her purple eyes locked on his, glowing tears streaming down. "But if I leave, everything will fall." Ryan held her hand tighter. "Then we'll fight our way out together." Outside, another explosion rocked the station, breaking the glass windows. The cold void of space loomed beyond, sucking in fire and debris, and, in that chaos, Lyra's power erupted again. A single blast of golden starfire shot out from her chest. It tore through the nearest warship, splitting it in half. Silence followed, as everyone, enemy and ally, stared in shock. Lyra gasped, trembling. "What have I done?" Ryan whispered, his voice both fearful and amazed. "You just destroyed a warship. By yourself." And in that moment, every soldier on the station knew. The Maiden of Starfire was no longer just a legend. She was real, and she was unstoppable. The Academy was falling apart. Explosions tore through its halls, smoke rising like black clouds inside the shining station. Enemy warships circled outside, their cannons firing again and again. But the thing everyone feared most was not the ships. It was the glow coming from Lyra. She stood in the center of the observation deck, trembling. Her coconuts burned with golden light, the same light that had destroyed an entire warship. Cadets, soldiers, even Commander Veyron stared at her in shock. Some whispered in awe, some in fear. But all knew one truth. If she lost control again, the entire station might vanish in a single blast. Ryan grabbed her hand, his voice firm. "We can't stay here. They'll either lock you away or use you. We have to run." Lyra's purple eyes widened. "Run, but where?" Ryan pointed to the docking bay below. "Anywhere but here. I know a ship we can steal." Veyron stepped forward, his golden eyes sharp. "You fool, you think you can escape with her. She belongs to the council now." Ryan glared back. "She doesn't belong to anyone." The commander raised his hand, but another explosion rocked the station. Metal groaned, alarms wailed, and enemy soldiers swarmed through broken doors. In the chaos, Ryan pulled Lyra through a side corridor. They ran past burning panels, sparks raining like fireflies. Her glow lit the dark halls, guiding their way. But every few steps she stumbled, her breathing heavy. "Ryan," she whispered. "I feel weak. Every time I use it, it drains me." Ryan tightened his grip. "Then save your strength, just a little longer." Behind them, shouts echoed, the sound of boots pounding closer. Enemy bounty hunters had joined the chase, tall armored figures with glowing rifles. Their voices were cold and eager. "Don't kill her. Capture her alive. She's worth more." Titir. Docking bay loomed ahead, filled with smoke and fire. Fighters launched into the void, but one small freighter sat abandoned. Ryan pointed, "That's our way out." They sprinted toward it, but blaster fire rained around them. Lyra cried out, stumbling again, her glow flickering like a dying flame. Ryan pulled her inside the freighter. Sealing the hatch, he rushed to the cockpit, fingers flying over the controls. The old ship groaned as if waking from a long sleep. Engines hummed weakly, lights flickered. Come on," Ryan muttered. Finally, the thrusters roared. The ship lifted from the deck. Outside, bounty hunters opened fire, their shots slamming against the freighter's hull. Ryan pushed the throttle. The ship shot forward, bursting out of the docking bay into open space. The stars stretched around them, but freedom was far away. Enemy warships turned. Hunters in sleek black ships locked onto them. Lyra staggered into the cockpit, clutching her chest. Her coconuts glowed faintly, but the light was unstable. "Ryan, they're following us," she whispered. Through the window, dark shapes closed in, engines burning like angry eyes. Dozens of bounty hunters. Their ships faster and stronger. Ryan's hands tightened on the controls. "This ship isn't built for fighting. We can't outgun them." Lyra bit her lip, her cheeks burning red. "Then I'll try again. I'll use my power." Ryan turned sharply. "No, it's killing you." But her voice was firm, trembling but determined. "If I don't, they'll capture us and then it's over." Her glow began to rise, filling the small cockpit with golden light. Ryan shielded his eyes, shouting, "Lyra, wait!" The bounty hunters opened fire, lasers streaking across the void. The freighter shook, sparks bursting from the panels. Lyra raised her trembling hands, her coconuts burning like suns. A pulse of golden energy exploded outward. Half the bounty ships spun out of control, their systems fried by the blast. Others broke apart, floating as debris in space. But Lyra collapsed to her knees, gasping for breath. Her glow dimmed, her skin pale. Ryan caught her, holding her close. "Lyra, stay with me." Her eyes fluttered, her voice soft. "I can't hold it for long." Ryan's chest tightened, fear burning inside him. The remaining bounty hunters closed in again. Through the window, their ships spread wide, preparing to trap them. Ryan looked at Lyra, pale but glowing faintly in his arms. He knew. Then this was only the beginning. Every power she used saved them but also tore her apart, and the whole galaxy was already hunting them. The chase had only just begun. The stolen freighter drifted through the dark sea of stars. Its engines coughed and rattled, but Ryan managed to keep it alive. Behind them, no enemy ships followed for now, but both of them knew it was only a matter of time before the hunters returned. Lyra sat in the co-pilot's chair, her body weak. Her coconuts glowed faintly, no longer bright but still alive. She held a blanket tight around herself, trying to hide the light. Her cheeks burned red whenever Ryan looked at her. She whispered, "I feel like I'm falling apart." Ryan checked the scanners, shaking his head. "You burned too much energy back there, you need rest." But Lyra's purple eyes lifted to his, fear swimming inside them. "Rest won't change anything, Ryan. This power is not meant to be controlled." She looked down at her trembling hands, whispering, "It's a curse." Ryan leaned closer, his voice firm. "No, it's not a curse, it's a key. We just don't know what it opens yet." Lyra frowned softly. "A key to what?" Ryan tapped the navigation console, showing a faint signal. "A place the bounty hunters fear. A signal hidden in the star. Maps, it's old, older than the Academy itself." He looked at her, determination in his eyes. "Maybe it can tell us the truth about what you are." Hours later, the freighter entered orbit around a dead planet. Its surface was cracked and broken, silent under the shadow of a dying sun. But deep in the canyons, a faint golden glow pulsed like a heartbeat. Lyra gasped as she saw it, her own coconuts glowing in response. Her voice trembled. "It's calling me." They landed near the ruins of an ancient temple. Tall stone towers rose from the dust, covered in glowing alien symbols. The air felt heavy, filled with whispers of forgotten voices. Lyra stepped carefully, her heart racing. The glow in her chest matched the glow in the stones. Each step she took lit the carvings brighter, as if the temple itself recognized her. Ryan followed, close, scanning the walls. "These symbols, they're from an ancient Oriole dialect, older than your council." Lyra traced her fingers over the carvings, her cheeks red as the light flared stronger. "It says, 'Maiden of Starfire, the chosen one carries the core of the stars.'" Her hands shook as she whispered, "Ryan, this is about me." Deeper inside, they found a great chamber. A giant crystal floated above the floor, glowing golden. The walls told the story in simple pictures. Maidens with glowing coconuts standing before armies, their power burning fleets and planets. But every image ended the same way. The maiden lying broken, her glow fading to nothing. Lyra's eyes, filled with tears, her voice trembling. "They all died, Ryan, every one of them. The power is too much for anybody to hold." She pressed her hand to her chest, whispering, "That's my future too." Ryan shook his head, his voice sharp. "No, I won't let that happen. There has to be another way." Suddenly, the crystal pulsed with energy. A voice echoed in the chamber, not spoken but felt in their bones. "The key is balance. The maiden must not stand alone, for starfire destroys when bound by fear, but shines when bound by trust." Lyra gasped, clutching Ryan's hand without thinking. Her blush deepened, her glow steadied. For the first time, the light around her was calm, not wild. Ryan looked at her, his heart pounding. "Do you feel that? Your power listened?" Lyra's eyes widened. It's true, when I hold your hand it doesn't hurt." Her voice softened, almost shy. "Ryan, maybe you are the balance." Before he could answer, the temple shook violently. Dust rained from the ceiling, cracks split the floor. Ryan pulled, her back shouting, "Oh, they found us." Through the doorway, dark shadows appeared. Bounty hunters storming the ruins, weapons ready. Their leader's voice echoed cold. "The maiden is ours. Surrender her, or be buried here." Lyra's glow rose again, but this time steadier, calmer. She whispered, "If the legend is right, I'm not fighting alone anymore." Ryan squeezed her hand tighter, his voice firm. "Then let's show them what the Maiden of Starfire really means." The ancient temple shook as bounty hunters stormed inside. Dust fell from the ceiling, and the golden crystal pulsed brighter. Ryan pulled Lyra behind one of the stone pillars, blaster fire raining across the chamber. Lyra's coconuts glowed, her cheeks red, her body trembling. "Ryan, they won't. Stop, they'll chase me forever," she whispered. Ryan's voice was steady but sharp. "Then we fight, but together this time." He aimed his small blaster, covering her flank. The hunters advanced, their armor glowing with cold blue light. But before they could close in, another voice thundered through the chamber. "Stand down." The hunters froze. Out of the shadows stepped Commander Veyron. His golden eyes glowed in the dim light, his armor polished and cruel. Behind him marched soldiers from the academy, weapons aimed at Ryan and Lyra. Veyron's smirk widened as he looked at them. Well, the runaway human and the cursed maiden." Ryan's grip on his blaster tightened. "You followed us." Veyron chuckled darkly. "Of course I did. You think the council would let their most valuable weapon escape?" He turned his gaze to Lyra, his voice smooth but sharp. "Cadet Lyra, your power is wasted with this weak human. Come with me, and I will make you strong. You will become the living core of our fleets." Lyra's eyes widened in horror. "Living core," she whispered. Veyron nodded, stepping closer. "Yes, your starfire can power entire armadas. With you, we can rule the galaxy. Your glow will not be wasted, it will become eternal." Her coconuts pulsed violently, her blush deepening with fear and anger. You want to turn me into a machine? Ryan stepped in front of her, fury burning in his chest. She's not a reactor, she's not your tool. Veyron's smirk faded, his eyes narrowing. You dare stand between me and destiny, human? He raised his hand, his soldiers aiming their rifles. Step aside or die where you stand. The crystal behind them pulsed again, filling the room with golden light. Lyra gasped as she felt it vibrate inside her chest. Whispers filled her mind, the same ancient voice from before. Do not yield, maiden. Your path is choice, not chains. Her trembling hands tightened around Ryan's. Her voice cracked, but firm. No, I won't go with you. Veyron's smile twisted into anger. Then you will be taken by force. His soldiers opened fire, golden beams slicing across the chamber. Ryan shoved Lyra aside, returning fire with quick bursts. But there were too many. The enemy spread wide, cornering them. Lyra's glow erupted again, a wave of light blasting across the chamber. Hunters fell back, their armor melting, weapons shattering. The temple walls cracked under the force, but Veyron stood tall. His armor shimmered with advanced shielding, absorbing the blast. He laughed. Impressive, but still untamed. You can destroy fleets, yet you can't even control your blush. Lyra's face burned, her glow wild and unstable. Ryan caught her shoulders. Focus, don't listen to him. Her eyes locked on his, and for a moment the glow steadied, but Veyron raised his blade, a cruel weapon of plasma fire. He lunged forward, striking at Ryan. Ryan blocked with his blaster, the weapon nearly torn from his hand. The force sent him crashing against the wall, sparks exploding. Lyra screamed, her coconuts blazing brighter than ever. A beam of starfire shot toward Veyron, but he caught it with his shield, pushing back. With sheer will, the chamber roared with light and sound, stone crumbling around them. Veyron's voice echoed through the chaos. You see, maiden, only I can withstand your power, only I can shape it. Without me, you will destroy yourself. Lyra's tears burned down her cheeks, her voice breaking. That's not true. I'm not alone. Ryan struggled to his feet, his hand reaching for hers again. The moment their fingers touched, the glow steadied, brighter but calm. Veyron's shield cracked, sparks flying as his smirk faltered. No, impossible, Ryan shouted. She doesn't need you, Veyron. She has us. The crystal pulsed with a final burst, the ground splitting beneath them. The whole temple began to collapse, stone crashing from above. Veyron staggered back, his soldiers retreating as the chamber fell apart. His golden eyes locked on Lyra one last time, filled with rage and obsession. This isn't over, maiden. You will be mine, he roared before vanishing into the dust. Ryan pulled Lyra close, guiding her toward the exit as the ruins fell around them. Her glow dimmed, her breath weak, but her voice steady. He won't stop. He'll keep hunting me. Ryan held her tighter, his voice low but fierce. Then we'll keep running until we're strong enough to end this. The freighter drifted far from the ruined temple. Its engines were weak, its hull scarred, but it carried 2 survivors who had no other place to go. Ryan sat at the cockpit, his hands steady on the controls, though his body ached from Veyron's strike behind him. Lyra lay wrapped in a thin blanket, her breathing slow, her glow dim but still alive. For hours the only sound was the hum of the ship. Lyra finally opened her eyes, her purple gaze soft but tired. Ryan, she whispered, her voice fragile. Why do you keep risking everything for me? Ryan turned, his expression caught between exhaustion and stubbornness. Because you're not a weapon, Lyra. You're my friend. Her cheeks burned red at the word friend. She looked away quickly, pressing her hands against her chest as if trying to quiet the glow. No one has ever said that to me before, she whispered. Ryan sat beside her, his voice gentle. Then, maybe no one saw the real you, but I do. Her coconuts pulsed softly, not wild, not dangerous. For the first time the glow was calm, like a steady heartbeat. She noticed it too, her lips parting in surprise. Ryan, when you talk to me like this, the power doesn't hurt. He leaned closer, eyes fixed on hers. Maybe that's what the temple meant. You don't need to carry this alone. Silence filled the small cabin, but it was a warm silence. Her blush grew deeper, spreading to her ears. She tried to laugh, though it came out shaky. You make it sound like I'm special. Ryan smiled faintly. You are. Her purple eyes widened, her heart racing. The glow brightened, but it was soft, not destructive. It wrapped the room in golden light, almost peaceful, she whispered, embarrassed but honest. I don't know why, but when I'm with you, I feel safe. The ship's computer beeped, breaking the moment. Warning lights flashed across the console. Ryan cursed under his breath. We've been tracked. Through the window, small hunter ships appeared, their engines burning like blue knives. Lyra's heart dropped, her glow trembling again. They never stop. Ryan's jaw tightened. Then we fight together. He handed her the co-pilot controls. She blinked in surprise. You trust me with this? Of course, he said. Trust is the only thing that keeps us alive. She blushed harder, gripping the controls. As the hunters closed in, the freighter swerved left, lasers slicing past its hull. Ryan fired back, his hand steady. Keep the ship steady, Lyra. Her voice shook, but she nodded. I'll try. The glow in her chest pulsed, but instead of blasting wildly, it synced with the ship's systems. The engines roared louder, faster, brighter. Ryan's eyes widened as readings spiked. You're boosting the ship, Lyra. You're part of it. She gasped, her face red. I didn't mean to, but the freighter surged forward, dodging enemy fire with impossible speed. The hunters struggled to keep up, one spinning out of control, another bursting into flame. Lyra's glow lit the cockpit, her cheeks hot. Ryan, it's working. He grinned. I told you, you're not a curse. You're the key. But the more power she gave, the weaker. Her body grew. Her hands trembled on the controls, her breath short. Ryan saw her fading, his chest tightening with fear. Enough, Lyra, stop, you'll kill yourself. She shook her head stubbornly. If I stop, they'll catch us. Her coconuts glowed brighter than ever, filling the cockpit with blinding light. The freighter surged one last time, tearing. Through the hunters, the remaining ships exploded behind them, leaving only silence. Then Lyra collapsed forward. The glow fading, Ryan caught her in his arms, holding her tight. Lyra, stay with me, he whispered. Her eyes fluttered weakly, her blush still painting her cheeks. Her voice was faint but steady. I'm not afraid anymore. Not when you're here. Ryan pressed his forehead against hers, his heart racing. You won't ever be alone, I promise. Her glow softened, wrapping them both in warm light. And in that moment, Ryan realized the truth. The temple was right. Her power was bound by trust, and their bond was the only thing keeping her alive. The freighter limped through the darkness, its engines sparking. Ryan's hands were steady on the controls, though the ship shook with every movement. Lyra rested beside him, weak but glowing faintly, her coconuts pulsing with a soft golden rhythm. Her eyes opened slowly, purple light meeting his. Ryan, she whispered, they won't stop chasing us, not until I'm gone. He shook his head, his voice firm. No, they won't stop until we make them stop. Before Lyra could answer, the warning lights blared again, through the window. The stars filled with fire. Two massive fleets clashed above a shattered moon. Enemy warships and council armadas collided. Explosions painted the void red and gold. Fighters danced like insects in a storm. In the center floated the ancient weapons site, a giant structure carved into the moon itself. Its core glowed faintly, waiting to be awakened. Lyra's coconuts pulsed in answer, her blush deepening. She whispered, that place. It's connected to me. Ryan clenched the controls tighter. Then that's where this ends. As the freighter neared the battlefield, both fleets noticed them. Council ships hailed them. Surrender the maiden to us, or be destroyed. Enemy commander shouted, hand her over and we will spare your lives. Lyra shook her head, her voice trembling but steady. They don't want to save the galaxy. They just want to own me? Ryan nodded, his jaw tight. Then they'll get nothing. Not her. Not her power. The freighter shook violently as both sides opened fire. Lasers streaked across the void. Explosions rocked their tiny ship. Ryan cursed. We can't survive this crossfire. Lyra placed her hand over his, her coconuts glowing brighter. Yes, we can, but only if we fight together. Her glow spread through the ship again, syncing with its failing systems. Engines roared, shields sparked back to life. The freighter moved faster than ever before, weaving through enemy fire. Ryan guided it with sharp turns, his focus locked. But the glow inside her grew hotter, burning her strength away. They burst into the heart of the battlefield, where the ancient weapon pulsed. The fleets surrounded it, fighting for control. Veyron's flagship appeared from the shadows, towering over all others. His voice filled their comms, cruel and proud. You can't hide from me, maiden. This ends now. Lyra's eyes filled with fear, but Ryan's voice cut through it. He can't take what you don't give. Lyra, remember, your power is choice, not chains. Her blush deepened, her chest burning with golden fire. She whispered, "Then I choose to fight." Her glow erupted, filling the freighter with blinding light. The ancient weapon on the moon responded, its core blazing awake. A beam of starfire shot across the battlefield, tearing through enemy lines. Ships exploded one after another, debris scattering across the void. But the glow shook her body, draining her. Ryan held her hand tight, shouting over the roar, "Focus on me, don't let it consume you." Her purple eyes locked on his, her blush steady now. The glow calmed, sharper, controlled. Together they guided it, turning the wild blast into a single focused strike. The beam pierced Veyron's flagship, shields cracking. The commander's furious voice echoed, "No, you are mine, maiden. No human can control you." But his ship burned, pieces breaking away into the void. Lyra cried out, her glow dimming as the last of her strength faded. Ryan pulled her into, his arms whispering fiercely, "Hold on, Lyra, just a little longer." The battlefield fell silent as both fleets froze. Every eye turned to the freighter, to the maiden who had unleashed the fire of stars. Neither side dared move. Fear and awe filling their ranks. Lyra's weak voice broke the silence. "Ryan, did we win?" He looked at her, his heart heavy. "For now," he whispered, "but the choice is still yours." Her purple eyes softened, her cheeks glowing red. And as the battlefield drifted in silence, one truth echoed louder than any explosion. The Maiden of Starfire was no longer a legend. She was real, and her choice would decide the fate of the galaxy. The battlefield was silent. Debris from shattered fleets drifted across the void, glowing red under the dying light of the moon. The Council ships held position, their weapons quiet. The enemy fleets did the same, afraid to move after what they had seen. All eyes were fixed on the small freighter, glowing faintly with golden light. Inside, Ryan held Lyra close, her body weak, her coconuts dim but still pulsing. Her breath was shallow, her cheeks red with exhaustion. He whispered, "It's over, Lyra, we made it through." But her purple eyes fluttered open, sadness flickering inside them. "No, Ryan, it's not over. Not yet." The comms crackled to life. Voices from both fleets filled the cockpit. "Maiden of Starfire, surrender to the Council. We will guide your power." Another voice cut through. "Come to us, Maiden. Together we can rule the stars." Dozens of commanders shouted at once, demanding, begging, threatening. Ryan slammed the comms off, his jaw tight. "You hear that, Lyra? They don't see you as a person, only as power." Her hands trembled as she clutched her blanket tighter. Tears welled in her eyes, her blush bright against her pale skin. "Then maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not a person anymore." Ryan turned sharply, grabbing her hand. "Don't say that, you're more human than any of them." The glow in her chest wavered. Unstable, Ryan's voice softened, steady but desperate. "You choose what you are, not them, not me, not anyone, you." Her purple eyes widened, staring at him as if seeing him for the first time. Her blush deepened, her glow steadied. The ship shook as another explosion flared outside. Veyron's flagship, broken but not destroyed, crawled from the wreckage. His furious voice echoed through the battlefield. "Lyra, you belong to me. You are the core of destiny. No human can claim you." His damaged warship charged, weapons glowing. The fleet scattered, leaving the freighter alone to face him. Lyra's body trembled, her glow rising again, but she whispered, "Ryan, if I use it all, I won't survive." He looked into her eyes, his voice low but fierce. "Then don't use it all, just enough to choose your own path." Her coconuts pulsed, golden light filling the cockpit. Her blush was deep, but her voice was steady now. "I understand. The power isn't about destroying, it's about choosing." She raised her trembling hands, her glow expanding into the void. The ancient weapon core on the moon pulsed in answer. For a moment, everything froze. Then a beam of starfire shot from her chest. Brighter than ever before, it struck Veyron's flagship, tearing through its broken hull. The warship cracked apart, bursting into golden fire. His final scream echoed across the comms before silence swallowed it. And then all was quiet. The fleets did not move, no one dared. Lyra's glow dimmed, her body falling weak into Ryan's arms. Her voice was faint, trembling. "Ryan, what happens now?" He brushed her silver hair from her face, his voice soft. "Now you decide." Her eyes filled with tears, but also with a shy smile. "For so long they told me my fate. But for the first time, I want to choose it myself." Her blush deepened as she looked at him. "I don't want to be a weapon, I don't want to be a prisoner, I just want to stay with you." Ryan's chest tightened, his heart racing. He held her hand tighter, whispering, "Then stay, Lyra. No council, no fleet, no commander will ever take that away." Her glow pulsed one last time, calm and warm, wrapping them, both in golden light. The fleets drifted in silence, watching, uncertain. None dared fire, none dared speak. And in that moment, the galaxy changed. Not because of a weapon, not because of a war, but because one maiden chose to be free. Her choice burned brighter than any star, and it was only the beginning.